Hello, and welcome to HEINEKEN Tech Insights, your podcast from Heineken Krakow. Throughout this podcast, we'll be sharing insights and learnings from some of Heineken's top specialists who are shaping the digital future of Heineken. Join us to meet our experts, gain valuable knowledge, and see how what happens in Krakow goes around the world. Today's episode explores how product management in finance, when paired with strong agile collaboration, can unlock real business value. We'll hear how a finance product was built from scratch at Heineken and how the synergy between business and technology made it possible. Joining me today are Natalia Kania, the Group Financial Reporting Product Owner.
Hello.
And Paweł Cymbor, D&T Manager Finance, FP&A and Consolidation.
Hi.
I think both of you are based at Krakow, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Okay. Nice to hear. Any place that anyone who's listening outside of Krakow to visit in Krakow that you could recommend us?
In Krakow, I think near Krakow is Wieliczka, a beautiful place, salt mine.
And I always recommend the Old City. This is where I live and I love going for walks there and explore it.
Oh, so you live near an old city, old town. Wow, almost a city center. Okay, before we jump to the maybe main topic, small warm-up question. What do you think, what's the one thing about your current role that energizes you the most?
So for me, I think it's the opportunity to build something meaningful with people who care. I am a very people-oriented person, so whether it's shaping a product or shaping a team, I find the energy in the creative process, in the collaboration, and in the end, in making the impact. So when we are working together between business and tech, connecting all the dots and empowering others, this is what's incredibly fulfilling for me.
Yeah, and for me, I think the footprint, so the impact in the organization, this is something really important for me. But the energy that I'm getting the most is solving the business problem. Yeah, that's really where I enjoy understanding of a problem, and with the support of the technology, we can make the work easier, faster, more standard. So the people is not focusing on the day-to-day activities, but they are focusing on something which can build the company value.
Okay, I think I very much like how you both touched the topic that is very close to me, like the collaboration between different parts of the organization, the business, D&T, about focusing on product, as you mentioned, Paweł. So we at Heineken, we know we are currently at Agile Transformation across the whole or all of the organization. And previously we had the guidelines around Evergreen 2025 on that. So what do you think, or the topic that we are bringing today, how you would connect that with the Heineken's digital transformation and the agile journey that we are on?
So we represent with Paweł the finance product, which is called Group Financial Reporting. And this product secures local consolidation process in Heineken. And I can imagine that when you're thinking about managing a finance product, this is not the first thing which comes to mind when you think about agile or digital transformation. But it's actually the opposite. It's a great example how these ways of working can bring real value in complex and process-driven areas.
Yeah, exactly. At Heineken, we are basically supporting not just only Evergreen 2025, but the continuation of the strategy,
That's true.
And with our product, we are delivering something which is basically for a fit for future, one of the key elements of Evergreen 2030. So the next 5-year plan for Heineken all over the place. And what we also believe, and this is also stated in that strategy, that agile and data-driven transformation is a key element, key component for that one. So it's not about just the technology, but basically how we are doing everything, not just and only a tech, but also how the finance function is changing.
Yeah, and so if I were to summarize this in one sentence, I would say it's simply about changing how we work. And product management mindset supports this change because it is really shifting our focus into being more value-driven and simply into putting our customers even more in the center.
Oh, actually, here, this is actually a very nice topic maybe, because how many people are looking for customers, they are looking like the clients, someone who's coming to your company. For us, it's a little bit different, or for you, the customer is a little bit different.
Generally for Heineken is different because our customers are not the consumers. So we are, let's say, differentiating the two group of the people. But in this case, our customers are not the wholesalers, the shops that we are basically selling the beer. Our customers in finance and technology is the internal people which is working on the solution. Yes. So we are delivering the capabilities towards the organization.
Yes, exactly. And the product management mindset helps us even better to deliver those capabilities because it keeps us focused on delivering what really matters for those internal customers. So the real business outcomes and not just, shifting system features. And how does it happen exactly with a financial product? Well, in my opinion, trusted and compliant finance figures are really like the backbone of every business. And thanks to our product, I believe that we are making this backbone simply strong and healthy.
Well, what is important here, we are building the product from scratches by fostering the partnership between the business, so in this case, finance and technology.
Actually, very nice topic that you've touched here. I think looking on that support and this collaboration between business and technology, and in general in the agile environment, as we know, we are embracing that collaboration. We should shift or aim to have this collaboration as close as possible. So how do you think how that collaboration between business and tech, in your opinion, may influence the success of a product, maybe finance product specifically, but maybe generally as a product in your opinion?
Great result doesn't come with a business vision alone, not from the technology alone. So what's happened is basically a collaboration of those two pieces of the puzzles, okay? In finance, especially important, what is important is you need to take into consideration the complexity of the process, and the finance needs to be really accurate, trusted. This is what give you the reliability of the numbers, So what I've learned that business and technology working on a one product need to be perceived as a one team. Okay, there is no differentiation that this guy is working for finance, this guy is working for technology, etc. No, this is not how we should take basically a building of a proper product. We are sharing the responsibility, we are sharing the our vision, okay, and we are following basically and respecting each other's opinion.
Yes, exactly. And I think that when we think as really one team, we truly unlock synergy. And we bring together those two different perspectives, which Paweł mentioned. So deep process knowledge from finance, in my case.
And a smart, scalable solution from the technology. Then the better we understand each other, the more trusted and respected we are towards each other, yes? So the final product at the end become something that is really used by the team, okay? It's supporting the finance function in this domain. And in our case, those two technology that we are using, this SAP ICMR, that's an abbreviation for the intercompany matching and reconciliation, and SAP GR or SAP group reporting, yes? But those solutions are not just an only reliable solution and scalable solution, because if it will not be connected with a vision, it will not bring the business value. And at the end, even if you will have the best, Ferrari and you will put it into the land, into some kind of the bumpy road, it will not gonna fly. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. And I think what Paweł said was only possible because we worked as one team literally from day one.
Okay, very interesting topic. And like, if we would be looking into the product specifically, how does the product that we are working in from finance brings impact to the wider organization?
That's a great question. Our product sits at the nearly end of the chain of the processes, and it's giving us a unique perspective because by sitting at the end of the processes, we often see a bigger picture. Okay, so we can see an impact of the sum of the person which is posting the invoice, and we can see how this work of that person is impacting on the financial report of Heineken N.V. All right, so taking that perspective, it's giving us that holistic vision, and we are also trying to basically show that vision and show that impact to the other works.
Yeah, indeed. And what we do, we don't just talk about how things impact us. So in our very narrow scope of local consolidation, but we really highlight interdependencies and long-term consequences of the decisions for organization in general.
And over time, what has happened with our team is that because we know the end-to-end thinking and we are implementing also in our mindset the end-to-end thinking, we are breaking up the silo that the people are sitting, okay? And due to that fact, we become quite a trusted partner to our stakeholders. So we are quite often asked for the opinion or how we are seeing that one, or do we maybe already have some kind of the practices that it can be copied with a pride, yes?
And I think here we also gave a great impact towards the current biggest transformation program, which is happening in Heineken, which is called Digital Backbone. And I think we will still talk about it a bit later. But I would also like to build on what Paweł said, that thanks to what we are doing, we are also very often kind of early adopters or even pioneers when it comes to new initiatives in the company.
And what is exciting is that the way we are approaching the things, whether it's a design, collaboration, or execution, often inspires some other teams, yes? Sometimes it's a new idea. Sometimes it can be a foundation to a standard approach. Yes. So what I mentioned before, the team are asking if we maybe can copy with a pride. Yes. Either the way it's rewarding to see our work that is spreading. Yeah.
Okay. So now maybe stepping a little bit outside the product domain. We know that to build a great product, you need a lot of experience and knowledge, not only in delivering in development, but also from product itself perspective. So, Natalia, maybe starting with you, maybe you could share a little bit about your background, from where you came as a product owner, maybe how this role currently suits you.
Sure, with pleasure. So I spent all my professional life in finance area, and I was always a process person. So I was working with designing, implementing, executing, and improving financial processes. And after working for many, many years in operations and in projects, somewhere around 3 years ago, I joined the global process ownership team in Heineken to further develop my interests in process area. And this team, next to their primary focus on the process framework, owns also financial products.
Okay, if may I jump, you mentioned that you joined the process ownership team. There was some sort of path to change, like to shift from your past role to new one, or was this a little bit of natural shift?
I would say it's both. because, as I said earlier, I was really more into the operational part of the being in processes, so more executing and thinking from the end user perspective, how to implement something or improve. While when we look at the global process ownership team, this team is really setting the direction for the designing of the processes.
And what I remember from past that your previous experience in reference of the implementation of the SAP group reporting and ICMR convinced your manager to trust you in a good job of basically designing and supporting building of a new functional product, finance product in digital backbone, which I think that we already mentioned a couple of times about that one, is the biggest transformation in Heineken that we are doing it.
Yeah, that's true. And this is how, for the first time, my process experience met the product path. And I could say that it gave me my new job. And at that time, we weren't really working yet within a formal product management framework, but I quickly got a taste of it. And I realized how passionate I was about the product mindset.
Yeah, I remember your doubts at that point of time when you try to make a decision if it's a good path. And I actually push you to accept the product owner, yeah?
Yeah, that's true. I was hesitant back then, but I am very grateful for the push because combining the process soul with a product mindset opened like a totally brand new world for me. And it did seem like a perfect combination, making me even more passionate about my job. And I think you can even hear this in my words right now. So stepping into the formal product owner role felt like the perfect evolution of my journey, because it was bringing together everything which I loved about process and everything which I started to value from the perspective of the product thinking.
Now I'm looking at you, Paweł. Like, was your journey or your path similar, or maybe are you coming a little bit closer to the technology rather than process? What's your story behind your role and behind you being involved in this project, in this product?
So basically, I work in Heineken for 12 years already, roughly, even more than 12 years. And I have like a little bit more experience in the previous organizations. But basically, my background is finance. Okay, so I'm a finance guy. But as of day one, when I start my journey with finance, I always believe that IT is basically a key enabler to become successful in a finance domain. Yes. So when I joined in Heineken Krakow gave me a really lot of opportunity to be a part of the not just and only the shared service organization located here in Krakow, but I've moved to Amsterdam for a couple of years and worked there. Then I've moved and have the opportunity to work in Lagunitas Brewing Company in US. So I have the experience of operating company. I have the experience of regional and global view. And in 2019, I get an opportunity to really merge my passion of the finance and, let's say, IT, okay? In 2019, I got an opportunity to become solution architect for central finance implementation. It was one of the biggest programs at that point of time in Europe region. And this was the moment when I said, okay, I'm turning a little bit myself into the not being a finance person, but basically take this technology beast, understand, and being a bridge between business, finance, okay, with my understanding and 12 hours working in Heineken and technology. That was an opportunity that I could not lose. Yes.
Wow. So the story, like, I really like how you highlighted the opportunities that Heineken is giving with transferring throughout different opcos and shifting the role. So that's, I believe, one of the key strengths of Heineken as a company when you are starting the career here. And having said that, maybe a little bit moving now closer into maybe giving some examples or maybe some sort of stories of your actual work and giving a little bit of background or a little bit of space to you talking or speaking about your team. Could you maybe walk us through some sort of story that shows how your team can approach some sort of major challenge, or what was the context? What actions did those take or bring to you?
So I will give you the example based on current product development. So the SAP group reporting and intercompany matching and reconciliation solution within the digital backbone initiative. Yes. So back in time, at the start of our journey, we were faced quite significant challenge because we were quite later than the entire DBB initiative start. Okay. And I'm talking later about 8 to 10 months versus the other, let's say, products, etc. So it was quite challenging. And myself and Natalia at that point of time was still engaged in the old product.
Yes, and despite this, we just had 5 months to deliver a complete design and build of our product.
Yeah, but that's come with some knowledge behind it. As you mentioned before, yes, that's a critical thing, yes. We know what to do based on the experience that we gathered from the previous projects, yes. So we're starting to clearly identifying the scope, listing the key design decision that need to be made, yes, identifying who needs to approve those decisions and making sure that basically one by one is tied.
And I think we could say that we secured the foundations and what we had them in place, so we could really move into the detailed design and actually initiate the build activities,
and
right?
That was the trick, Thanks to our collaboration, it was so fast. Thanks to our sharing of the knowledge from the previous projects, etc., we collaborate really fast, and we, honestly speaking, achieve quite some extraordinary, because within the 5 months, we defined the stable product design and working solution in the system in development ready for testing to our customers.
Yeah, and so thanks to this, we could align finally with the standard DBB pace and timelines. So it's shown that when you have the mutual trust, when you share the ownership, and when you are really looking at the lessons learned, you can accelerate delivery even under pressure.
Yeah, that's experience really shown us the possibility when we can combine the urgency and the trust and the shared ownership. So if you will add those 3 components, then you can get a great momentum and basically complete everything that you want in reference to the product itself.
And I think that we could here mention a turning point which we had back then, because when we started the design of our product within DBB, we of course kept in mind of all the lessons which are learned, which I mentioned from the previous project, what worked, what didn't, and what we wanted to improve.
We knew the new project gave us an opportunity to fix the old mistakes. Let's be honest, yes?
Sorry if I may now burst in. What do you mean old mistakes?
When you are developing something, you make you make some small decision that at the end might have a bigger impact, and then you might decide, okay, the user will get used to it, okay, and live with it, or no, I don't want to make the same thing. I want to change it, and this is the learning opportunity that basically Heineken gave us to us in the past, and then when we are embracing that knowledge, embracing that small thing that we made, that sometimes can be, from the user perspective, really annoying. But when you are in design, you do not see it, yes? No, we will do it differently.
So, actually, I think here, again, great example of you collaborating with the users, because actually based on them, the thing that you mentioned, that's what I captured, what do you mean by small mistakes, is actually a great example showing that why the agile or why this other product management approach is good, because we are continuously developing and changing based on the feedback we are getting. And
exactly.
You are a great example of those.
I don't remember which of the big guys from the IT tech company says that one, but most of and we also learned that one from working with the SAP product. And there's even a consultancy joke there saying SAP is a great solution But most of the ideas coming from our customers.
That's true. And I think we experienced this because when we were developing the product, we were finding some gaps in SAP design, and we were going back to SAP, and they were implementing the corrections based on our feedback. So it did happen for us.
Yeah, exactly. And I do remember that the new product gave us the new opportunity, but because it have a new design framework, it gave us also a new challenge. And I think that story is also really nice, how we can embrace the technology, yes?
Yeah, that's true, because I remember at the beginning of the design, we were thinking how to solve some new design challenges. And then we had this presentation from SAP where they shared with us their new features to come and their future roadmap. And this was the time when an idea appeared in our mind, right, Paweł?
Yes, that was the true. And it helped us to solve one of the biggest design dilemma at that point of time, so...
Yeah, because, the challenge which we had was that we were building the product which had to fit the current reporting framework, but we knew that this reporting framework will change soon, like within several years. So we also had to provide something flexible enough to adapt to the future changes. And Paweł's idea, which was inspired by SAP's new solution, was a game changer. I still remember it, because it really helped us to lay a kind of foundation that is supporting both what we need today, but also tomorrow's ambitions. And I think this was also the moment which really shifted our mindset from solving those immediate problems into really designing with long-term thinking and scalability in mind. Right, Paweł?
Yeah, right. But before I talk about that, I want to add something which is really important. And this is basically to have a vision. This sentence of North Star or think about the future, something you need to take into consideration, yes? Because without a vision, you will not be able to make a good directions decision, yes? And it's really helped the team to basically have that North Star in the plane. But I remember that one is sometimes it's like a challenges. You need to have this glass balls. Okay, where we will be in the next 5-6 years,
To guess a little bit, yeah?
To guess, but this is the vision, Not everything will come on but the direction, okay?
Yeah.
And this is really important. And Agile give you that flexibility.
Exactly, allows you to adapt to the changing requirements, changing scope. And I think you, as you mentioned, there were even ideas that helped you combine the current and future solution that we are aiming to. But looking into those vision, like at the beginning, probably everything looked differently on the paper compared to even where you are now. And I don't even want to think how it will look in the future. But do you think, or maybe you could share with some sort of unexpected outcomes that, or maybe some lessons, that showed or that emerged as you were building the solution?
Yeah, so basically the challenge that we have in the past, the challenge that basically Natalia said, in that we come up with the idea, but based on the inspirational sessions with the SAP, come with some price. And that price was that during the beginning of, during the initiation phase of the digital backbone and the implementation of the SAP, we were asked to upgrade the system to get that feature. That was not the easiest thing. But again, we take our mindset, yes, of collaborate, not sitting in our silo, gather the information why it is required for the organization. We cannot, let's say, avoid that one, and how we can convince our stakeholders and the organization to make that impact, yeah?
Yeah, and I think what's also more, this experience taught us something important, that even when we think we know the tools, we know the limits. So let's say we know everything, because for me and Paweł, we were after 3 years of working together, designing and implementing the very same process. So even though there is always a room to be positively surprised by new possibilities, so we always should simply remain very open-minded.
Exactly. Staying open-minded is really a game changer, yes? To keep challenging your own thinking, and always explore the new way of working and a new way of solving the problems. No matter how much experience you are bringing into the table, it is important indeed, but you cannot leverage just and only on your experience, yes? Or I will refine it. You should be experienced enough to stay open-minded.
You're very, very true. Like, you need to be open-minded to the changes, to the challenges. You need to apply the lessons you learned as soon as possible. And again, the framework we are working in, or the frameworks, to say any agile approach, allows us to learn and to address any experience or any challenges that we are having. Was there any tough part, or maybe toughest part, looking into your past experience, and maybe any specific example that you could show us how maybe you or maybe your team overcome it?
Yeah, sure. So I think we've had really many challenges, but one of the biggest challenge which we faced just at the beginning was to build a high-performing product team literally from the scratch.
Okay, now you are now talking about the people part, yeah?
Yeah, true, because building a product is never just about tech. People are equally important. For me, it always starts and it always ends with people.
Okay, hold on. Let's start from the beginning here.
Yeah, okay, so the beginning was that we started with just the two of us, so myself and Paweł, 2 consultants and a newly appointed project manager. So while from one side designing and building the product, from the other side we were also focused on, recruiting, onboarding, training new team members. And we were often investing rather in people with potential than with expertise, because it was back then rather hard to find in the market. And at the same time, we were also shaping our ways of working. So we wanted to define our team structure, tools, and also we were thinking how to position our product externally in the organization.
And I think it took us about year and a half to establish a scalable team with a proper framework. Looking backwards, honestly speaking, I cannot even imagine how we achieve it.
I think the answer, surprisingly, is simple. I think we truly enjoyed the process, and we enjoyed being in the process of creation, whether it was creation of a product or creation of a team. And we also tried to be patient enough to allow this newly established team grow. So we slowly engaged them in various tasks, and we also accepted mistakes. We wanted to create this culture where you can learn in a safe environment. And seeing how the team grows was a very rewarding experience for me. And it kept me motivated in all the difficult moments.
And is there anything you learn or anything that you can share about your learnings while building the team together, or as you are building the product?
Mm-hmm. I learned that when you're passionate about the topic, when you truly care, and when you enjoy the working with a team, the real magic happens. Leadership is what inspires a team, yes? Business and technology leaders, it is our responsibility to stay open-minded, inspired by the others, and support the growth of our team, yes? So this is what Natalia mentioned. We did not have an expertise in the team. There was not even an expertise in the market, but we did see a potential of grow in the people, yeah? When we do that, the products grow organically. Yes, over time you will see a major product and a team that is delivering real value to the company, and they are enjoying to doing that one. Yes, at Heineken Krakow we can achieve incredible things when we do love it. Yes, the combination of purpose and the connection creates an environment where the people want to go above and beyond. Yes, not because they have to, but because they want to do it. Yes, building of a team in parallel of the building of the product brings a unique energy. Yes, it's in this space where passion meets the collaboration and the innovation is thrived. Even challenging topics like navigating through the dependency or across the different team streams becomes much easier. Natalia, would you like to share your experience or align with the different teams, how difficult it was and how important it is?
Yes, I would like to share, and I would use the example of the famous topic of data quality. Because we need to remember that financial consolidation, which is supported by our product, happens at the very end of a long chain of processes. So for us, the quality of upstream data is absolutely critical.
It's like a river, yeah? So you are really dependent on what is happening upstream. We even use those words in our environments, upstream and downstream systems.
Yeah, then that's a great comparison, Paweł. So we quickly realized that we couldn't just consume data. So we couldn't just consume what was coming from the river. We had to actively engage with the team producing it. And we made it a priority to help others understand how their outputs impacted our product.
And do you remember how we basically achieved that one?
Yes, I do. And I want to stress that this wasn't about enforcing rules, because such approach never works long term. But it was more about building shared ownership. And communication was a key here. So we didn't just go and ask for clean data or consistent processes to secure our deliverables, but we connected our message, our ask, to Heineken's broader data strategy. So we showed how our requests aligned with the company's goals and how they could actually help other teams too. And we started building strong relationships early on to support this.
Yeah, I remember we involved a lot of stakeholders in design discussion. We shared the progress update on that one. And that was a magic when we make sure that they felt owner and an ownership of the outcomes. Yes, this way it was not just and only our point of view as a product, but it was basically aligned with the company goals and turn out in the dependencies under the partnerships and much smoother collaboration.
Wow, guys, you've touched so many things that are very close to me, like the not silencing both D&T and business, to collaborate, to build, to work with stakeholders, to build a team together with a product-based approach, to focus on vision and be able to respond to the continuously changing market and requirements. All of that stuff, like from my perspective, really shows how you can continuously develop a long-term goal with adjusting within a team. But from your perspective at Heineken, working maybe a little bit touching the Heineken perspective, if you would be able to could share maybe like one specific area that you'd like for the listeners to pick up when they will be in similar area, or maybe while working on a product-based approach at Heineken?
That's not an easy task. The key factor, and it does not to be just one. It's
Yes?
really difficult question.
Only one.
Okay, it's really difficult question, but you know what? I believe that the most important element of success for delivering well-functioning product here in Heineken is staying true to the Heineken DNA, the power of networking. You know, building the strong connection with the outside organization, but also within the organization is key element of that one. Combining the clear communication, mutual respect is essential for a product and the Heineken's team, yes? We cannot remain in the silo. So this is exactly what you said, yes? But without networking, it will not gonna fly. We need to be open-minded, not just only internally, but also externally, yes? We engage with the others, yes? Even drinking with a beer on a bar, that's also an engagement, and sometimes the best solution is going out of doubt, yes? The collaboration benefits not only to the product itself, but also to the team working on that one. So the enjoyment is there, yeah?
And we have a kind of internal joke in Heineken that in Heineken, everybody needs to align with everybody on everything. But I think it really shows the power of relations which we built in Heineken and that we truly care about them.
Yeah, and I think that you can also see it in Heineken Krakow as well, yeah? The importance, but also something that bring you an energy out of that collaboration and networking.
That's true. The networking, I think I've already touched that with a few other guests joining here, that the Heineken is truly networking company and you really need to maintain those connections. Okay, thank you. So maybe now heading to the closing, not sort of arguments, but maybe to the closing question. Like, from your perspective, is there, I don't know, maybe any book, any podcast, or any idea that inspired you recently in your work?
Honestly speaking, I'm quite often inspired by anything. Yes, I'm staying open-minded, listening different podcasts, watching different movies, and even the sci-fi, especially during the AI world, which is now embracing us, is something which is bringing me a couple of the inspiration, you know, but also threat and risk, yeah?
Yeah, so what Paweł says is really resonating with me. I am also easily inspired. But what I would also like to share with the listeners of the podcast is the very recent concept which I got to know, which is called Product Delight. And it was developed by Nesrin Shangal, who used to work as a product manager in many big companies like Skype, Google, or Microsoft. So she's going one step further or ahead from looking at customers and looking at value. She's really stressing the importance of building emotional connection with your customers. And this is what also very close to my heart recently.
Wow. Thank you both for joining. It was an honor having you here, and it was a lot of learnings from my perspective, looking into finance, where I haven't been in that area in the past. So either way, I see a lot of connections between the agile world from where I'm coming and into your specifically finance, of course, embracing the agile ways of working.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so today's conversation gave us a behind-the-scenes look at how finance product was built from scratch at Heineken, not just through technical expertise, but through strong collaboration, shared ownership, and a product mindset. Natalia and Paweł showed us how business and tech can truly work hand in hand, how building a team while building a product is possible, and how leading with value can shape every decision. Their story is a great example of what agile transformation looks like in practice and how passion, trust, clarity can turn a vision into a working solution that delivers real impact. To stay connected, be sure to subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, and follow Heineken Global Shared Services on LinkedIn. And remember, here at Heineken, we are always looking for rising stars who are ready to make an impact. If you are interested in joining us, you can explore our open positions at heinekenkrakow.pl. We'll be back with more insights from Heineken's agile and digital transformation journey, showing how what happens in Krakow goes around the world. Join us next time to keep learning, growing, and adapting.